Hi, welcome back to the Sing Confidently Live Creatively podcast. Estelle here. How are you doing? How's it going? Happy Monday. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you had some rest and relaxation. I got a lot of rest and relaxation, thankfully, because I had like some sort of cold or something. As you can hear, I'm a little bit congested, so sorry about that, but I'm still recovering. But I definitely got lots of rest this weekend, which is really, really helpful. And I hope you have had a restful, rejuvenated weekend. Today, I'm going to share some singing tips that no one wants to hear. The singing tips that are the tea, the actual tips that you need to build confidence as a singer. Listen, I've been singing my entire life, and frankly, these are the things that have helped me feel more confident in my voice, especially as an adult, especially pursuing singing intentionally as an adult after I left medical school and decided to apply to music school. And I'm now finishing up my master's in music, teaching voice. These are the things that have helped me feel more confident as a singer and that are helping my students as well, both private students and students that I've worked with in groups. Like these are the things that I see that are helpful to help singers feel more confident. And just like talking to my friends who are singers as well and like talking to some of you guys, like these are the things that are helpful and that we need to be implementing all the time, consistently, regularly. Like, let's not shy away from these. There's just no getting away from it. Like, these are the things that are helpful. So, I'm going to go into that in just a moment to help you build that confidence in your voice that you can become the confident singer, performer, actor, um, theater artist that you want to be, and that I'm on this journey with you too. Like I'm trying to be that too. So that we can be that, those confident performers together. So I'm going to share that with you in just a moment. But first, I would first like to share a review from one of you guys. This is from homemaker underscore BS, I believe. And she said, or they said, great resource, 5 stars. And then they wrote, Estelle is so approachable in her way of teaching. I love how she makes singing very doable and not scary for anyone who wants to learn. Thank you so much for leaving that review. Hey, you guys, if you have listened to this show and you like this podcast and you've never left a review, please don't be shy. Please scroll on down on Apple Podcasts and leave a review. I believe on Spotify, I don't know if you can leave a review, but I know that you can leave a comment. So leave a comment and I will definitely check in there and answer you guys. But thank you so much to this person who left a review. It really means a lot that you find the information, the podcast episodes, like easy to learn, and that, I really want this podcast to be available for anyone who wants to learn, beginner friendly always, but also like pushing you to grow and challenging you. But I do, also want to make it like very easy to learn, easy to follow as much as possible. I know sometimes it's hard to learn when, you're listening to a podcast, but to learn about singing and learn singing tips, but I do try to break it down as much as possible. So I appreciate you saying that, and I hope you guys all feel that way. Please leave a review if this show has helped you in any way, like if you've been helped with the vocal warm-ups, if you've been helped with any of the tips, any of the inspirational content, any of the practical tips about pursuing singing and performing as an adult. Like please leave a comment to share, leave a review to share what has been helpful to you, because then I'll know what to do more of. So like if you love the warm-ups and you want like a bunch of those, like leave a review so I'll know. You know what I mean? So anyway, I think I've said it 50 times, but please leave a review if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. It also helps the show reach a lot more people, and people all around the world are listening to this. I just got someone reach out to me about lessons from the UK, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, it's international," which it has been international, but it's so fun to be able to connect with some of you guys from all over the world. And so yeah, you guys leaving reviews helps the show share, like spread all over the world so that people everywhere can access confidence in their singing voice, in their performing skills. What you're doing by leaving a review is actually helping other people. So please go ahead and do that. And now I'm going to move on. Okay, to the tips that you came here for. In order to build confidence as a singer, these are the singing tips that no one wants to hear, but we actually need to hear and need to, more importantly, apply with intention. So, number one is practice regularly. Regularly. Say it with me. Regularly. Now, does that mean every single day? Maybe not. It depends on what your goal is, and it depends on where you are in your current season. So if you are prepping for an audition, then yeah, it probably means every single day up until that audition. If you are wanting to really be intentional with this and you're in voice lessons, every day that you're not in voice lessons, you should be working on your singing, even if it's just a little bit. I mean, I would recommend at least. Um, and maybe it's every other day to start with, or maybe it's, 5 days out of 7 to start with. But if you are really wanting to be intentional with this, create a schedule for yourself and practice regularly. Have that consistency of using your voice, even if it's just like for me, I'm in a season right now as I'm like, I just started a music job. You guys know, those of you who this is not your first time listening, I just started teaching music in a school. It's all very new to me. It's felt like kind of overwhelming the last couple of weeks. I think I talked about that in my last episode. I talked about like what life is looking like for me right now, practically speaking and realistically. And it's a lot. But even just a few minutes of like in the first thing in the morning before I start teaching, doing a little vocal warm up, or after I get home from teaching, before I go for rehearsals for Sound of Music. I'm currently in Sound of Music. And before I go to rehearsals, doing a little bit of singing or like right when I come back, even if it's just a few minutes, that consistent practice, it helps you not only grow as a singer, but it helps you like reaffirm to yourself that you are a singer. You are doing this. And that reaffirmation of doing the thing that you say that you want to do, that reaffirmation of doing the thing that you are claiming that you are, like if you're saying you are a singer, you are pursuing this intentionally, doing that thing every single day or at least on some consistent basis, that is actually proving to your brain, proving to yourself that you are able to do this. And that helps you build that confidence. So, that regular practice is essential. Singing is muscle memory. You are teaching your muscles to do the work that you want to do. So all the warm-ups that I teach you, that I lead you through, my vocal warm-ups and tips, for singing certain notes and certain parts of your voice, those are all focused on helping you develop the muscles in your voice to work in a certain way, to build that technique, right? That is what technique is just how you sing. So, how your muscles are working and coordinating to help you to sing in a belt, to help you to sing in your chest voice, to help you to sing in a light head voice, right? So, but if you're not practicing using those muscles in that way on a consistent basis, they're not going to know how to do that with ease. Does that make sense? So, not only is there's like the mental aspect of you are like proving to yourself that you are a singer by practicing consistently, but also just practically, that's what helps your muscles know how to sing in the way that you want to sing. And that's how you're teaching your muscles how to work. You're teaching your muscles, your brain, how to coordinate your voice in the way that you want to. And so, yeah, regular practice. It's the thing that no one wants to hear, but it's the thing that everyone needs to do. Let's be so for real. So practice regularly. That is number one. You all knew you guys should have known that was coming. You got to practice consistently. All right. The second thing, if you've been here for a while, you might also know that this was coming. But the second thing that you absolutely should do in order to become a confident singer, the tip that no one wants to hear is that you should record yourself and listen back. I just did an episode all about this on episode 256 if you want more in-depth information about like how I do that, what that can look like practically speaking. Episode 256, an underestimated tip to become a better singer. And that underestimated tip is to record yourself because it is so, So helpful. Oh my goodness. I just was scrolling through this is a side note. I was just scrolling through my voice notes because I have a lot of voice notes in my iPhone, um, of me like singing little parts of songs that I'm working on because you guys, I'm a songwriter. I'm working on writing songs. Another side note. That's another tangent. But I was just scrolling through my voice notes and like deleting things that I didn't need anymore. And then I saw like a bunch of little recordings from one day, like all these little recordings of me singing the exact same thing. And it was a song that I was working on for like a cabaret performance that was coming up a couple months ago or a few months ago. And I had like recorded myself singing this song, particularly the end of the song, so many times. And I remember listening back and I listened to a couple of them and I could hear the differences of like from like the last one that I recorded versus like the one that I recorded before it. There is when you record yourself and you listen back to yourself, you're literally being your own voice coach. You're literally being your own um like critic and but in a good way. Like I call it kind critiquing in my course, the Sing Confidently course, which I'm currently revamping by the way. So just a side note. But I talk about that and I call it kind critiquing, where you are able to give yourself feedback in a kind, encouraging way, but also like being honest with yourself. And you can do that by recording yourself and listening back to yourself. But if you're not recording yourself, if you're not actually listening to your voice, you're just singing and hoping that you sound good, right? Hoping that you can, become better, right? But you shy away from recording yourself because it's nerve-wracking, and I understand it feels awkward. It feels very awkward. But you're actually missing out on being able to be your own biggest cheerleader and be your own like kind critiquer, kind critic. Okay. So I really encourage you to practice like working on the song, practicing regularly, and while you are practicing the song, record yourself and then challenge yourself to listen back a little bit. And I talk about the two questions to ask yourself again in that episode that I mentioned, episode 256. So definitely go back and listen to that for like the breakdown of what you should be asking yourself, what you should be noticing. But if you're not recording yourself on a consistent basis when you sing and listening back, that is a tip that you should apply. I really think that you should apply because you're missing out on helping yourself build your confidence in that way by just listening to your voice, noticing the things that are going well, noticing the things you want to adjust, and like notice you'll actually notice like, oh, I like this part of my voice. Oh, I really enjoy hearing myself sing this, right? You're actually going to fall in love with your voice more when you listen to it. And that helps you also build confidence because you're like, oh, there's actually some good stuff here. And maybe in your head, you're like, oh my gosh, I sounded terrible. But then you go back and you listen, you're like, oh, okay, that wasn't so bad. Right. And so there you go. You're building your confidence. So I'm not going to harp on it anymore, but the second tip that no one wants to hear, but everyone needs to do is to definitely record and listen back to yourself singing. Okay. Bonus points if you record a video, not just audio, because then you can also see how you perform. Like, what are you doing with your hands? What are you doing with your face? That kind of stuff. That is also really important to how you tell stories as a performer. So, okay, that's number two. And then thirdly, last but not least, is warm-ups, doing vocal warm-ups. This kind of goes along with practicing regularly, of course, warming up regularly, doing warm-ups every day. But this helps you build confidence in your voice because when you're warming up, first of all, you don't need to worry when you're warming up about sounding perfect. You just need to worry about not worry, but you just need to focus on noticing where your voice is in this moment on this day because every single day your voice is in your body, it's your body and your body is changing. Right, today my voice sounds very congested because I'm congested. My that's But this is not how my voice is going to sound in a week, hopefully, right? This is not how my voice sounded a few days ago, right? So your voice is, constantly changing, constantly sounding different depending on how it's doing, how your body's feeling every day, how much sleep you got, how much water you're drinking, exercise, diet, etc., etc. It's going to affect your voice. So doing your warm-ups is where you get to check in on your voice, how your voice is doing, notice how your voice is doing, and go from there. but it also is where you get to like kind of hear your voice do different things. You know, if you go through my warm-ups, I always start a little bit like towards the middle of the voice in the female voice, kind of that middle register area in between passagios, in between the breaks in the voice. And then I go up, we go up pretty high, and then I go down, and I can go down pretty low, usually in my warm-ups that I lead you guys through. However, when you're singing your song, especially if you're singing pop music, chances are you're not singing in that range at all. Like you're not going all the way up to where I was going in the warm-up or all the way down to where I was going in the warm-up. Chances are you're probably staying in that middle range, maybe a little bit higher depending on the song. But in your warm-ups, you actually get to explore different parts of your voice. If you're doing it the way that I do it, if you're doing it with my vocal warm-ups, I always make sure that I try to traverse all the different parts of the voice, not just stay in the middle part of the voice, but head voice as well, a little bit of mixing stuff, focusing on that type of technique, chest voice, etc. So I always try to do like those different parts of the voice, different aspects of the voice in the warm-up. And so by doing that, you're able to explore different parts of your voice, and that helps you feel to help you build confidence in those different parts of your voice. All right, if you're watching, okay, there's a bug crawling behind the wall, so that's great. I'll deal with that later. Alrighty. Last but not least. Okay, those were actually my three tips, but I do have a bonus tip for you guys. I have a bonus tip for you guys. Um, Sing in front of other people. That is my bonus tip. Sing in front of other people. Share your singing in some way. If you really want to skyrocket your confidence and force yourself to like just put yourself out there and feel confident as a singer, putting yourself out there literally by posting yourself singing online or going to a karaoke night and singing in front of people just for fun. Like that is a great way to skyrocket your confidence. You're gonna feel so good afterwards just because you did it, no matter how it goes. Like you can just tell yourself, at least I did it. And that's gonna help you build a little bit more of that confidence. But I encourage you to do the other things that I said first so that you feel a little bit more comfortable in your voice because you've been practicing regularly. You've recorded yourself, you know how your voice sounds. You have been doing warm-ups, so your voice is able to do a lot of different things in different parts of your voice. You know how to coordinate them because you are warming up your voice, right? So doing those three things is going to help you so that when you do share your singing online or you perform in front of people, you already have a little bit of a foundation of confidence. So I really encourage you to take these three tips, apply them intentionally starting today. Number one, again, practice regularly. Number two, record and listen back to yourself singing. And number three, make sure you're doing your warm ups. You guys, I got you. I got you. What was the last warm up that I did? Let's scroll back. Scroll back. Okay, episode 260. Try these vocal exercises to help you start to belt without strain. That wasn't actually a follow along warm up per se. I had a few like exercises at the end, but let's see. Okay, here's a full warm up, episode 257, relaxing, cozy vocal warm up for singers, beginner friendly. That's a great one to start with if you're like you want to start with the warm ups, you don't know where to start. Go to that episode. Again, that's episode 257. It's a cozy vocal warm up that I thought would be so cute for this like transition to fall period. Hopefully, it seems like you guys really liked that one. That one got a lot of downloads, so I will maybe do some other ones in the fall to help us like keep our voices nice and cozy and feeling good. But yeah, those are my three tips. Those are tips that no one wants to hear and a lot of times no one wants to do, but not us, right? Right, you guys here in the Creatively community. Um, we do these things, don't we? Right. Yes, we do. Because we are building confidence as singers, we are living creative lives. And in order to do that, we are able to be disciplined, right? We're able to practice the things that we need to do, right? To build confidence as performers. So I hope this helps you. Hope this inspires you as always. I would love to hear from you. I want to talk to you guys. Um, that sounds like not to like sound too not to put on too much pressure, but I would love to talk to you guys. So if you want to chat with me as well, feel free to come to our community page. creativelybyestelle.com/community is where you can like go there to join either my Instagram community or my Facebook community, depending on what kind of social media girly you are. You can also join my email list. Um, but I would just love to hear from you. So if you join one of the community groups, you can post in the groups what your thoughts are on today's episode, if you liked it, if you found any of these tips helpful, and which one you're going to start with. But I encourage you to choose one of these and start with at least one of them this week, whether it's practicing regularly, doing a vocal warm up, recording yourself and listening back. Do one of those things this week to help you build confidence in your voice. And I can guarantee you, you're going to feel so much better about your voice and about your singing because you are doing these things. Okay. So again, creativelybyestelle.com/community to let me know which of these tips you are going to be following starting this week. You can also just follow me on Instagram and I'll definitely reach out to you. If you follow me, I'll DM you and say hi. And you can let me know if you came to my Instagram because of this episode. And that is at Creatively by Estelle on Instagram, Creatively by Estelle. All right, that's all I got for you guys for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you later. Oh, don't forget to leave a review. All right. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode and to this show. I'm so in awe of you for being here and showing up for your creative gifts. That takes courage. Don't forget to join the Performing Arts community on Facebook for support and inspiration as you continue on your journey. If this episode helped or inspired you in any way, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and share it with someone. It means so much. Thank you again, and don't forget to keep singing, acting, dancing, performing, and living creatively. Talk to you next time.